you going?
I'm here at Union Station here.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Are you going where?
yeah, yeah. I'm headed off on the next adventure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Jerome the Adventurer. You're exploring
Oh
the
my
world,
God.
right?
Na Nabiha the Nomad, right? The Nabiha the Nomadic, the nomadic Nabiha.
I would be traveling too right now, actually.
You always traveling. You be traveling in the ethers. You be traveling in the smoke land,
In the
right?
smoke. Yeah. Yeah, I've been in the smoke line for too long right now. Sometimes you get stuck there.
So you gonna go back to the woke land from the smoke land?
Walk land.
The woke land? You going from the smoke land to the woke land?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I feel like the smoke lands are walk land to me now too.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah.
so you stay woke in the smoke.
We gotta stay woke in the smoke. How would you see otherwise? People don't know what we're talking about, I guess. But yeah.
Now that was
So
another one we read. Of course, you know, the Master of Poisons. This is the next one here.
yeah, I haven't started that yet.
So yeah, yeah, I just cracked it open. I've been highlighting some. It's it's interesting. You know, they have themes in here like we can't move forward unless we understand the past, and you know, if you don't lead yourself, then you will be led by someone else, and you know, there's lessons to be shared inside.
Interesting. So what? How come you've been gravitating these kind of books lately? They all have the same message, kind of.
Do they?
I think so. I think they do. It's like something related to reality. It's like some kind of code that you need to crack to relate to this reality, because all of them are saying something about this reality in a just metaphoric way.
Mm.
It is
So,
this reality.
so, so if you've read one, you've read them all. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just thinking like it's different perspectives of this reality. There's different authors that have had different perspectives on this reality, but the message is the same.
Mhm.
What? Oh, what? You don't think so?
The message is the same,
hmm
right? Right?
The message is the same. It's like
Man.
it's like every book is like telling you kind of like it's a lot of hidden clues in this reality. Have you captured them? So it's just highlighting some of the clues for you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's how
So
it feels like.
so you do you like finding the clues? Do you feel like a private eye, like a detective? Like you're picking up
I'm
clues?
Sherlock Holmes in
Yeah.
reality. Yes,
Yeah, the modern day.
the modern
Hmm.
day Sherlock Holmes. How do you pronounce
Mm.
that, Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, they say he said elementary, my dear Watson. Elementary.
Yeah. For some reason, I actually always felt like that. Yeah.
Hmm. Like Sherlock?
Yeah, kind of like that. Always trying to find the clues and everything. That's why I used to like Scooby Doo growing up.
The mystery
hmm
van. Yeah, the mystery gang.
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
reality feels like that too. You have to find the clues.
You remind me of Velma sometimes.
Why Velma?
My glasses, my glasses.
I always look for my glasses, I know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
but I can see without my glasses. She was blind without her glasses.
Right, you can see without your glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat.
Every time we would do qigong, Nabiha, Miss Jenny, the lady we were at her place, Jenny,
hmm
she said her eyesight got better each time. She
Yeah, I
said
believe
every
that.
time she said every time we did qigong, her eyesight would get better.
I believe that. I believe that it's connected to the breath and the relaxation. Yeah. So I believe her. And I think, I don't think I need glasses. It's just I'm wearing them sometimes when I'm at the airports and, I can't see the screen because of I'm tired maybe. But every time I'm relaxed and I've done like some type of meditation or something like that, my eyesight's good.
Mm.
It's fine.
So, so the key is in the
Hmm.
relaxation.
I think so. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, because when I'm tired, I don't see well, you know. And then when I'm relaxed, my eyesight is better. So I don't really need glasses like that.
You know what's interesting, Nabiha? You're so on point because earlier you said that they have the same message. We just read a book about the lies of a jungle,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And there were these characters called seers,
Hmm.
and they had to see the things that others could not see, you
Okay.
know? And when he had to go into that mode of relaxation, he could see everything. Even if they were on a battlefield and there was constant chaos, constant pandemonium, constant panic, constant everything around them, he was able to see everything,
Hmm.
right? And even in this book, that we're getting into right now, The Shadow Speaker, the people who are shadow speakers are born with their eyes open.
Ooh, I
So
like
they
that.
say, so you know how babies, when they, of course, but these children are born with their eyes wide open, and
Hmm.
they can see for 15 miles at a stretch, and they can see in the dark,
Ooh, I love that.
and
Okay.
the shadows talk to them. The shadows have messages for them, and they communicate that with them day or night. They talk to the shadows, but it's
Have you finished the book?
based on their eyes, their sight.
Have you finished the
No,
book?
what do you? Why it's just I just cracked it open.
Okay, okay. I hope you didn't finish it. I haven't even started. But yeah, that's a good skill. Oh my goodness. I think we all can. This is like, you know how they say like, your brain is not open, to a capacity that it should. I think if it did open, we could see a lot farther than where we can. And then we can see in the dark. We can see a lot of things. Because I don't think, the eyes are just limited to the sight. I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely feel like, they say there's rods and cones within the eyes, and I think that there are certain things that lie dormant and also have been desensitized within the eyes,
Mm.
because when you think about they talk about the even in the Tao Te Ching, it has something like flavors dull the tongue or dull the taste, and different colors dull the eyes, and different sounds dull the ears. And if you could think of an indigenous people or a tribe of people, like how Ellie Tom said, one of the highest energy people he's ever faced, ever encountered, has been when he was in Benin. And in
Mm.
Benin, he's seen somebody come out the bush, and the guy had like mud covering his body to protect him from, I guess, mosquitoes or something in the wild. But he came from the bush, and Elitam saw him, and the guy was like invisible to everybody else, but Elitam saw him,
Mm.
and he said that the guy just turned, he looked at him, and then he kept walking, and he said that guy is high energy. He's seen it,
Hmm.
and just think of somebody who has never seen television, right? They've never seen these screens or LED monitors or anything, computer. They've never had earphones pumping in their ears with,
Hmm.
music bumping down the street. They've never had all that. So what are they picking up with on their ears? Like, what are they able to see with their eyes? What are they able to, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a dormant awakening that we can reawaken, but there's also a form where it's like, wow, how much could we sense?
Yeah. It's like we get overstimulated.
Right.
Like we get overstimulated that our energy is shattered while those people in the bushes, they they have their own energy,
Mhm.
and then they immerse everything within nature. So they always in nature, they're always like, connected to this planet somehow. So they're not interrupted or like distracted with everything that we have made, all the man-made stuff. Even the buildings, I feel like, every building, every brick, everything is kind of like a disturbing. it is disturbing. It's kind of like interfering with your own energy. So yeah, I believe those people are high energy, and I've seen them. I've been in Africa to different places where I've seen these people come out. You know, they use that mud to not get sunburned, just like a pig would do. You know, pig doesn't have like a pigment. That's why they roll in the mud, and elephants does the same too to cool down. You know, so it's like, you know, you can go walk around bare, you know, so you don't get sunburned. So.
See, I never knew that because, you know, is that kind of part of the reason, Nabiha, that you say you enjoy walking in parks or forest or more natural environments versus walking in the concrete
hmm
jungle of the city?
hmm hmm If I am walking in a, you know, in a concrete jungle, like let's say like if I go to San Francisco, I'm just walking around there. I know I'm absorbing a lot of energy, you know, a lot of energy, like every building, every person, everything, nothing is aligned. It's like walking into this chaos of energy. You know, everything is still happening as it's supposed to happen, but it's kind of like an chaos. It's not structured, right? So when I walk in there, I know that my energy is getting interfered. So I'm kind of like testing myself and seeing like how much I can deal with this, you know? So that's why I always give myself like few hours of just absorbing this, and then I'm so tired I need to go and just wash that off. So it's kind of like a different energy. It's not aligned with my energy. And when I'm in nature, it's completely the opposite. So I'm getting aligned. Everything is aligned. I'm the only one that's disaligned in that in that sense, you know. My phone today. Sorry
You're,
about
you're
that.
getting it aligned. You're getting it aligned. It's coming into
Yeah,
alignment.
I think it's the vibration of the voice that's making it. Yeah, is it better now? I would
You know,
hold it after this if it continues. But
it's
yeah, like when I'm walking in nature, I'm getting charged. When I'm walking in the concrete areas where it's city people, everybody's thought is not even aligned. They're rushing, they're running, they're going somewhere. You know, they're not even aligned with themselves. So imagine like how many human beings are just walking around with this aligned energy. And then you have all these dense buildings, and then you have all of these flashing lights, and then you have all information that's just coming your way. It's draining. It is draining unless you are also completely disconnected and just walking in there. If you're connected, you can't, it's not easy to handle, you know. So I test myself because I have to be able to move around those energies as well, you know. So yeah, it's different.
You know, one of the things that I love that you said, Nabiha, just now you said you're like washing things off, washing
hmm
things off of the energy. And I remember hearing in Japan, they call it forest bathing. Forest bathing.
mm
So that, you know, when you go into a forest, the energy of the trees and the leaves and everything around you is like bathing you. You're in an energy shower.
yeah.
You know, that's a lot of power. So I like how you said, I wash it off. You're like cleansing. It's cleansing
hmm
your energy.
hmm yeah, they have name for everything, right? Yeah, cleansing. Like if you go by the ocean, for example, if I'm just like meditating, do some qigong or something like that near some ocean or some water, I feel like that's washing me too. It's like cleansing you. So it's necessary to really do that energy cleanse. People may think like you have to put on some candles and this and do some hoo ha whatever to cleanse, but all you need to do is just go in nature and breathe.
You don't do that? You don't put on the candles and put the little bubble bath? You don't make a, no?
That's a different ceremony, but you don't need to do all of
So,
that.
so you do that
Yeah,
ceremony?
just for fun. Fun. But yeah. Yeah, no, you don't need to do all of that ceremony to just cleanse. You should be able to know how to wash yourself each time. You know, when you feel like some dirt comes on you, just the way you just wash yourself. Same thing. Yeah,
Getting that dirt off your shoulders. You know, gotta wash yourself clean. So that's like spiritual hygiene.
exactly. See, they got a name for everything.
We
It is. The spiritual hygiene, yeah, most
Cleanliness.
definitely.
I mean, they do say cleanliness is next to godliness.
Mm.
Cleanliness is next to godliness. I remember hearing that growing up. Hey, wash your hands, wash it. Cleanliness is next to godliness,
Wow,
right?
yeah.
Hey, where you going? Right?
Hmm.
You better wash up, right?
Yeah.
Cleanliness is next to godliness. I would hear this growing up.
Wow. What if we heard like that every time we walked in the house, like, hey, go and wash off the energy that you just encountered today. Go and clean yourself. Sit down. Yes, that would be awesome, because we really need that wash.
So, have you seen somebody, Nabiha? Have you ever encountered someone whose physical body was clean, but their energy was dirty?
Mm, yeah, a lot. Have you ever seen, even if you see the hoarders, right? Like hoarders, like that outside the house looks clean, but you go inside the house, it's dirty. Hmm. It's the same thing with someone that works out and they build these muscles, but then everything they eat is a junk. So inside is a junk. It is. You can see some people that, yeah, they clean themselves and wash themselves, but their energy is so nasty. So nasty. It's sticky.
So
Yeah.
that's like what you're saying. That's kind of like the house that looks really pretty on the outside,
Hmm.
but then you go inside and it's cramped, it's congested, it's claustrophobic, it's tight, it's closed, it's
Hmm.
stuffed, filled, there's no
Exactly.
space
Yeah. You will never know unless you get in there.
unless you get inside.
Mm. And the person looks clean and everything when they come out of that house. They talk to you, they with you every day. But then they never invite you to their house. Never.
You see that you're never invited.
Hmm. You never invited to their house.
Or if you ask them to come over, they always have an excuse.
Hmm. But yeah,
But
they
what?
may come over to you. They may come over to you, but you never
Yeah.
go to their
I'll
house.
come to your house, but you're not coming to my house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Hoarding
man.
is a mental illness. It's like, yeah. But people do hoard a lot of stuff inside our temples, our bodies. Like a normal house, these cubicles, you can go in and you can clean that out, but still you can't clean the person's mind. They're still holding on to these stuff.
Right. Right. So like the body can either be a toilet or a temple. Uh,
Yeah.
like a temple or a trash can. We treat it, you know,
Exactly.
with that reverence,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm.
Are we going to like use it as that garbage disposal or more have more reverence for the body as a temple? So,
Yeah.
have you seen in your own experience whenever you've had an environment, maybe your room, maybe your car, maybe your living space somewhere, when things were in disarray, did it feel like your mind was in
Ooh,
disarray? Oh,
yes.
I
Yes.
heard you. I felt that. I felt.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Like my mind is just how my environment is, really. That's exactly how it is. Sometimes when I walk into someone's room and I look at the room, I know their mind. Your room is your environment. Like your mind is just how you see, how you look on the outside too. So yes, if you see like a lot of mess around me and I'm just sitting there comfortable, my mind is messy like that too. Hmm.
It's interesting. Ellie Tom talked to us one day on one of our talks during the retreat about that movie called Limitless.
Hmm.
There was a movie called Limitless where this guy popped a pill, a limitless pill, and it opened up the parts of his brain that they normally say we never use.
Hmm.
And so instead of using 10% of his brain, he was using 100% of his brain capacity. So all sorts of things, all sorts of ideas, all sorts of concepts, everything was awakened to him. And the first thing that he started doing was cleaning up his house.
Wow. Wow.
He used all of the mental faculties to clean up his environment. That was his feng
Yeah.
shui, you know?
I think that's the important one. It's very important because it starts with, you know, your environment, meaning like, you know, your room where you are, and then, you know, your environment, meaning like who you interact with, right? People, or maybe like the place you live, the city you live in, you know. So all of it shapes you. It's who you are. You know, your hygiene is who you are, how you know, even how you walk, how you talk to people, all of that is you. But it's like your environment that shapes you. Your environment. It depends on your environment how you act.
I do remember hearing that, and you're so on point when you speak about that, because there was like a scientist in a laboratory that took a cell, I think from a human, and he put it in like a petri dish, and he
Mm-hmm.
separated it into three petri dishes, and one of them turned into a skin cell, one of them turned into a muscle cell, and another one turned into a fat cell.
Mm.
And it was like the only thing that changed was their environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it does have an effect more
Mm-hmm.
than we think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like the berries, you know, when you store berries, like if you want them dry, right, and you put them maybe in the sun and they dry, they last longer. But if you put them in an environment that's not, you know, their environment, they go rotten.
Right.
You can't
Right.
even eat those berries. So it depending on where you put the berries, that's how they, you know, turn out. So it's their environment. So it's the same thing with us too, you know. If you put yourself in an environment that's not healthy for you, you will just rotten just like the berries, you know.
What did they say about the berry? The sweeter the juice. The what of the berry?
Yeah, I think you can say that. I don't know that one. I've heard it, but I just never said it.
The what the berry? The sweeter the juice. What is that one?
I think the darker, right? The
Is that?
berry. Yeah, I think so. The darker, the yeah, the sweeter.
Mm.
I think so. Yeah.
I wonder how we found out. Like, who was the first person to test these berries and to find which ones were poisonous, which ones weren't? You know, it's interesting how we've gotten here by almost like a process of trial and error.
Mhm.
But somebody had to go first.
Mhm. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being the first testing things out.
You wouldn't mind?
No, I wouldn't actually mind.
You want to be the test subject.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, you know. I think you can sense things as an energy and feel things as an energy, you know. If I was just walking around in the forest trying to figure out like, oh, what's mushroom and what berries, that would be, yeah, it's somebody got to do it, you know. But I think that would be fun journey. It's just like playing with the fire somehow. But yeah,
It'd be a journey, all right. You know, it'd be a journey, all right. So you're saying like, oh, you just, oh, I wonder what this mushroom does. I
I
wonder what
think I
this.
would feel it. I would sense it. I will develop that energy, you know, where I can sense things better. So I would know like that berry, no, it's not good, you know?
You ever seen Dexter's Laboratory, Navia?
Yes.
You seen
Yeah.
Dexter's Lab?
I used
You
to see that.
remind me of Dee Dee. You remember a character
Yeah.
named Dee Dee? She'd
Yes.
be like, "What does this button do? What does this button do?
Yes,
What
I
does
love
this
Didi.
button do? What does this button do?" It,
Exactly. And then you figure out what to do. Hmm. Wait, would you sit there and think like, okay, what does that button do? I mean, you would always sit there. Nobody's gonna push the button. Either you have to sit there and wait for someone to push, or you have to push it to figure it out, right? I think that's the game of life, and that's the fun part. If you didn't have that part, I don't know, it'd be boring.
it'd be boring if you never push the button.
Yeah,
That
or
what
like
you're saying?
even test, yeah, test things out. You know,
Yeah.
like life has so many different things that, yeah, it's a lot of clues, you know, to figure out. Too many
You're
of them. I don't even know if we have enough time. Yeah.
you're right. You know, I tell people that as well whenever I come on live and I invite somebody. You know, people jump in and they thank me for inviting them to the live, but I tell them like you push the button.
Mm,
I can't push it for you. You push the button.
yeah. Yeah. That's true. It's you know, the power is within all of us. We just don't accept that. Yeah. No one can speak the words on your lips, you know. Only you can. So yeah, I don't feel like we have anything to lose really to just take chances in life. I really don't think so. You know, what is it that we have to lose? We're gonna get, you know, we're gonna die anyway, right? We're gonna get out of here that way. So just testing out stuff, figuring out like more than like just getting out of your little environment. You know how someone can live in the same city, same town, knowing the same people, just like change it around. Change it around. You have nothing to lose, really. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're coming upon a new change in your life right now? That
Always.
it's time?
It's always some change going on.
Yeah.
Always.
What is the newest one that you're about to change around
Ooh, now
right now? Yeah.
I've thought of moving, you know, from California for a while. Or maybe that's one change that needs to happen. And yeah, maybe I may go back to the office for a few months. I haven't done that in a while since before COVID. I haven't been in the office. So yeah, a lot of change happening.
You know that's what they say when you see 555. Whenever you see 555, they say think of a bag of nickels.
Mm,
'Cause that's a lot of change.
really? Five, five, five.
Right?
Oh my God, I've never heard that one. There's a
It's a
lot.
lot of change. It's a lot of change. So I highlighted this for you, Nubiha, and this is not really a big spoiler, but in one of these chapters, the main character, they're speaking with the shadows, and the shadows had a message for them. And I won't tell you the whole message, but just part of the message was, you are growing, but you won't advance here. You
Mm,
you are like a cow who has eaten all the grass in her field.
wow.
So you ever feel like a cow that has already, you've eaten all the grass in your field. There's nothing more for you to eat here. Like you've grown to the level that you need to grow in this environment. Now it's time for you to either transcend or transition to a new environment.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting that you said that. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. Because I felt like that when I was in Norway, right? I think I've lived in so many different towns in Norway, you know, like moving from this town. I used to live there for 2 years. I used to give myself 2 years. 2 years here, and then I feel like this environment, there's nothing to take from anymore. It's just done. I'm finished here. Yeah, so I have to go to different and then explore there and then go to another different. So I think I moved to 13 different towns just in Norway. And then after that, I realized, oh my God, maybe it is this whole Scandinavia. You know, I need some different environment because I really believe that every plant has its own place to grow, you know. Not all plants have the same environment to grow. So if I'm a cactus, I need to go somewhere hot. I can't be in the snow, right? So it's the same thing. So I just felt like maybe I need to be in a tropical area. Maybe I need somewhere where the climate changed. Maybe that's where I grow. So I thought it was here. I came here, you know, and I think I've done my job here too. It's like next. Now I know I'm not like tropical like that. I'm definitely not a desert person. I'm like, okay, we need to find that middle ground where it's in between. But then I'm realizing it's not one place. It's not one place, you know. So I think I will just, you know, go to different places in the world just to see because of, I'm not just one person either. It's not just one type part of me that's growing. It's like different parts of me that's growing, and it needs different environments. Yeah.
Right. Right. And that's a great point. Different parts of you that are growing, different parts that are necessary to grow in that way. Because in the book, they call it the drive. That's
Mm,
what they call it. So there's a drive that every shadow speaker
mm,
gets.
mm,
And and it's a drive. It's almost like they feel compelled, propelled to move on, to go somewhere, to go out, like Tutu. Like Tutu had to go out to find water. They
Mm.
have a drive within them that compels them to go
Yeah.
and advance themselves and to grow. So they have to go in order to grow. And if they don't listen to that drive, if they don't listen to that inner voice, that inner intuition, those gut feelings that tell you move on, they suffer. In the book, they suffer,
That's
you know?
what we're all doing.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's looking for that drive. That drive is the purpose, you know? It's like people have to find the purpose and then they would have to have that drive that push them forward all the time, you know? And that's the only way I feel like we can find peace somehow. You know, everybody's trying to fill this void of trying to find like love and trying to find this. It's just because of that lack of that drive. We don't have that drive. That's why we're suffering. So that's why we all also look for motivation and this. Don't you think?
It's true. It does encourage that constant seeking or that constant reaching, because when you think of your drive, what do you enjoy about your drive? Like, what do you enjoy about that inner motivation or the inner inspiration that would light that inner fire, you know, that makes you want to go higher? What do you enjoy about that drive?
I think, you know, it may sound weird, but you know, like, you know how knowing your purpose will maybe give someone like the drive, like that motivation, right? To me, it's more of the unknown that gives me the push. That I don't know is what's more exciting, you know? And I don't even need to know. I would just like go after something that is unknown, right? And I know there's something, but then at the same time, it's the unknown of it that pushes me. If I knew and I knew it was a destination, maybe I would be like lazy about it. Maybe I would just like, you know, but now it's like something that I don't know. It's something in the air. I need to just find, and that's what pushes me. Yeah.
I love that, Nabia. I love that, you know. Like, thank you for sharing what pushes you, because I feel like you and Ellie Tom, you're the same.
Hmm. How?
Because Ellie Tom, when you observe him, when you're interacting with him and you're around him long enough, he has a drive. And it's the same, like you said, the unknown. Like, what don't I know? What more don't I know? And he's always telling me about all these things, and you can see the excitement. You can feel the enthusiasm that he has for learning something new, something that he didn't know before. And he's talking to me about, look at this, look. He's talking to me about melanin. And for like a whole half hour, we're just talking about melanin, you know? He's like, look, they're selling it. Like, look how much they're selling it for. And then look how much gold is worth. Gold is worth this much and melanin is worth that much. We are worth more than gold, you know?
Yeah.
And he's showing me, he's like, he's so excited like a child. You know, he's like, you can see his smile and you can see how it lights him up just to learn these new things.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, it goes back to the teaching. So it gives him even more fuel for the flame, you know, to be even more self-sustained on these learnings.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it would be so boring if you kind of had like an idea of like a summary of like this is what I need to learn and this is like what I need to reach and this is what I know, and limiting yourself like that is just boring, you know. It's the unknown. It's like the new things that comes every day, you know. That's the fun part of it. If I didn't have that, it would be, I don't know, life would be just so boring. It would really be just so boring, you know. So yeah, there is the unknown. Yeah.
So the unknown that, you know, we don't know what's next. It's like, it's good that you don't have a crystal ball that can show you the
Mhm.
future.
I don't need that one.
That's good.
Mhm.
Not knowing is actually a good place to be because
Yes,
it makes it more fun.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because yeah, I don't see the other way. Like knowing and going to a destination. And no, that's why I don't like religion. It's like, oh, you're going to a paradise. Now you have me all these questions about what is the paradise? What if I don't like it? What if this? Now you have me think of all of these and then just have me work towards something that I'm not even sure of. Like, no, I'd rather want to work towards something that I know I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense, but
It
that's
makes
the
sense.
balance. Yeah.
It makes sense. The Nabiha way, the Nabiha way, not knowing. We were walking through that tunnel, and we were walking towards Chinatown and the pier, and it was like we didn't really know where we were going. You had a general sense of direction, a general sense, right? But you didn't really know. No, it was like, okay, we'll find
Yeah.
out. Let's go this way. Let's go. Let's go that way.
What if
Right?
I knew the way and I was just telling you, like, okay, just let's go there? It would not be fun. It wouldn't be fun. Yeah, half an hour walk or not knowing the road. And we didn't even know we were going to Chinatown. Chinatown was there. Yeah, it wouldn't be
Yes.
fun.
Chinatown just appeared like a movie. Like we entered a new scene,
Hmm.
Boom, new scene, new environment, new scene, new people, new faces, new places.
Yeah,
It was amazing to see things unfold because we had let go of all that control, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like when I go to Florida and I'm with Kristen. Kristen, I think Kristen is the first person that I've seen that's like me in that kind of sense, when it comes to like, why do we have to know what we're gonna do today? Like, let the day unfold first, okay? So what would we have to know? And then we would just like fold up all our tents and I would get in the car and we start driving. And then when we get out of the way, I'm like, where are we going? That's when we figure out where we're going, right? And if it's left or right, it depends on, if there's a car behind me, pushes me to the left, I go left. So, and then the day just unfolds, right? Maybe we wanted some coconut, but we won't go and look for the coconut. The coconut will just appear in our road while we are doing what we want to do. If it's a tree right there, Christine, we just stop, climb it. If it's like, playground, I stop. I don't have kids with me, but I'm the kid. I will play. So while I'm doing everything that I want to do, the things that I thought of will disappear. It just works that way. You don't have to stress. Yeah.
And it's interesting too because as you were speaking, I was reminded that it applies on every spectrum. Because
Mm,
so many of the people that people revere that are like business leaders and moguls and entrepreneurship and all these people that started different ventures, so many of them had no idea what they were doing and didn't really even know where they were going. They just started something and they just said, okay. And after they were already in it, they said, okay, now I'll figure it out. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
they didn't wait for themselves to be ready or to be qualified or to be certified or to get, to have all this accumulation before they went off into that vibration. They just kept
Mhm.
going and then said, okay, now let me figure it out.
Yeah. But that's how it works. Like if you really think you know what you're doing and you already know the finish line, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You should just no, it doesn't make sense. So it's like you have to find out as you go. It's like taking the risk. Every business person have or any successful business owner have taken a risk. Multiple risks. Trust me. So it's just how it works.
Now, for some people in Nabiha, that's pretty scary, what you're saying. For some people, it's like, like jumping off of a cliff and assembling your parachute in mid-flight or something. You know what I mean? Like you don't have everything together, but they have a feeling that they're falling. And so now they have to figure it out while they're in the air before they hit the ground.
Mm.
But for you, it
Even
doesn't
with
seem that way.
no, it shouldn't. Shouldn't just see it as. You're gonna fall whether you want it or not. You know. But to prepare for the fall, and oh my God, I'm gonna fall this way, and this is how I should land, and this is no, you shouldn't. I don't think you should. It's just you complicating the fall. You know, you complicating the fall. Let's say like you planned how to fall this way and that way. Now you have all these expectations. You would just hit the ground. You know, like just when you know of it that you will hit the ground, then just prepare that you hit the ground instead. You know, instead of preparing all the landing and stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, too much worries would really like make you crash.
Okay, so too much worry gets in the way.
Hmm. Always.
It blocks the way when we worry.
Hmm.
My friend told me, he said, Nabiha, he was like, worrying is like a rocking chair. Like, you feel like you're doing something, but it doesn't really get you anywhere. All you do is go back and forth,
Hmm.
back
Hmm.
and forth,
Hmm.
back and forth. He said that's what it means to worry.
Or
And
go in the circle. You know, like sometimes I feel like I know I do. You know, I know I do. Let's say like I'm rushing somewhere and I want to get to one simple thing. It will take me like so much time to just get to that. I will go in circles. Like this, just because of I'm stressing, I will go in circles instead of just grabbing it and just leaving. I will go in circles. So it's like the mind actually makes you that way. That it just worries are the I don't know the stops. Rocking chair is good, but I feel like I'm going like this, or like having like too many balls in the air. You just don't know which one to catch. Yeah. No, I don't worry too much. Yeah.
yeah, it's good that you can have that perspective, you know, like
Yeah.
not to worry about what has passed, and not to worry about what's to come,
No,
you know.
no, I don't. I don't. I really don't. I know a lot of people worry about a lot of different things. Like someone would have like, they would have their last $10 on their account, right? And then and instead of using it, they will hold on to it, and then they will start worrying, you know. And just that will make that $10 dents. You will stay in your account, you know, because you kept it, you so worry about it, but nothing else will, you know, flow. But if you just let yourself, let's say like you use that $10 and you multiply it, it's like you jump and you're not afraid, and the universe would just, you know, understand that vibration, right? So we complicate things more than we should by just worrying and holding on to things. I don't worry about if that would be the 10 last dollars. I don't care. Like it, literally, I would tell the universe, I don't care. I really don't, because it's something that recycles, something that comes back. It shouldn't make my energy stagnant. It shouldn't interrupt my flow. Something outside of myself shouldn't interrupt my flow. So yeah, that's why I don't worry. It is what it is.
I like that. I like that. So it interrupts your flow when you don't let go.
Mm-hmm. It does, for no reason. For no
Yeah.
reason. Now you're broke and stagnant. Like
Ooh.
it's, it's like both.
Now you broke and stagnant. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, wow. You make it harder on yourself.
exactly. We do make it harder on ourselves. So for no reason, just to, it's like we are so good at creating our own sufferings. We are so good at it. It's like we master that part in life, like how to just create or how to put obstacles in front of ourselves. You know?
Is it like we specialize? Like we specialize in creating our own suffering?
Yes, we are
Like
specialized.
a specialist.
Hmm. Like a specialist, yeah, specialist on your own
What
sufferings.
what do you specialize in? I create my own suffering.
Hmm.
I'm
Yes,
good at
yes, yes. Everybody should put that
it.
in their bio. Yes.
I'm good at it. I've been doing it for years.
Hmm.
Trust me, I know.
Hmm.
I'm good at it.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, since I was, since I could talk,
I've been creating my own suffering.
Yeah.
I'm a creator.
Yeah. Wow. But it's the truth because, like, by the time we reach like 3 years old,
Mm.
we start with that. I don't know how to do this. I'm not good at this. We start with that, and then that's when the suffering starts.
Did, you went through that phase?
I know everybody did. I can't remember when I was 3,
Did
but
did you go through the phase of I don't know, I don't know?
every day we're still going through that. We still go through that because it's conditioned. It's so settled that I always say like, oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to do this. I
Or
say that all the time.
or you say I don't know how to explain it. That's a big one. I don't know how
Yeah,
to explain it.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
how
how
to.
to explain it.
But that's yeah. It's difficult to explain things to so many different minds because everybody would take things the way they perceive it, right? So I can say something, you take it one way, another person take it another way, another person take it another way. So I have to be very careful with how I explain things. So that's why I
And
said that.
and when you say you have to be careful about how you explain, what would make you worry about someone not understanding your own explanation? Like where's the worry?
Mm. There is no worry, but just prioritizing your, I wouldn't say breath, but your time also. You rather want to be quiet if you can explain anything correctly.
So, so you're when you say I don't know how to explain it, I don't know how to explain it, you're not worried that the other person won't understand?
I'm not worried about that they won't understand. I'm just um uncertain if I convey the message correctly the way I want it. So it's more of me like doubting my ability to explain things.
And and if you've had people who said, "Oh, I loved your explanation. That makes so much sense." What would make you doubt your ability?
I would only think that that person, it's somewhat, like they their way of understanding and their way of thinking is just broadened. That's why they understood it. Not because I did a good job or something like that on that part. But it's like, okay, this person, I know how their thinking process works. So that's why they understood that. You know how you can have like a riddle in front of you and someone would not even get it, but you get it because of the way your mind is wired, how you think, how you solve puzzles is different from someone else's way of solving puzzles. So when I see someone grasp the message, I feel like, okay, that person know how to solve this puzzle the way I know how to solve it. Does that make sense? But if someone else, like if I'm feeding someone with the information, I have to be very careful on how, like it's like I'm teaching them, okay, this is how I put the puzzle together. Does that make sense?
And you're not careful because you don't think that they'll understand. You're careful because you are trying to put it together. Like basically what I was hearing was you're not saying, "Oh, I did a good job at explaining this." You're saying this person did a good job at understanding.
Mhm. Then I'm tapping into the person's way of puzzling, how they puzzle things.
So so if it's up to the person to understand, why would you ever doubt your ability to explain?
Because then I'm I'm just expressing the way I understand things. I'm just laying out the way I puzzle. So it's my ability to explain how I puzzle.
And you doubt that?
Of course, because I'm using different languages, which are not. Um, I wouldn't call them my own. They don't belong to me. So I'm using different words and then putting them together. It's like puzzling the words too. You know, in order for the person to, for them to click for them and say like, oh, okay, I know what puzzle you're talking about. Makes sense? I don't know. Yeah, but it's the language. You see?
You see, I don't understand. It's like you're still unsure. You're like, does
Yeah.
that make sense? I don't know. Does that make sense? Are
Yeah,
you
it's
asking?
like how I put things together, how I understood this reality, how I put the pieces in this reality. if I've explained that correctly. Because if I'm not doing it correctly, there's no way, there's no reason for me to speak.
You would rather be
Hmm.
silent.
It's good to be silent too. Sometimes I just wish I just could, but then I feel like it's kind of like my duty to do it, to express myself.
And when did you feel that sense of duty?
All
You know, what
my
do you
life,
feel makes it okay?
all my life,
All your life you've had this duty.
yeah. It was always something that I was trying to express in a way. Like, I really never believed that we all view the reality the same way. Like I used to say, like, you see green and I don't know you're green, you know. I can never be sure how you see green. I just know we agreed on one. That looking like, you know, my green look like yours. That's the only thing we agreed on. But I don't know how your green looks like. And I can never know. I can never know. So it was a way like, okay, I see reality this way. Do you see reality this way? So it's like, it's a longing question. Everything like that I see, like, okay, I see it this way. Do you see that way? You know, and why? And then can we go deeper on that?
And yet there's something within you, Nabiha, that you enjoy when someone gets something that you've explained. Like you feel good when someone understands what you conveyed, the message that you got across. Doesn't it does feel good when someone gets it, when it clicks.
Yeah, then it would be like, oh yeah, my green is like your green, you know. We understand on the same level. That's why I say, like, it's like we're listening to the same song. So you just confirm that, oh yeah, we did listen to the same song. So we were tapped into the same frequency, you know? So then that way I would know like who sees, who hears the same things as me.
Because if you didn't know anyone or didn't have any evidence to support the conclusion that someone does hear or someone does see the same as yourself, would you feel alone in this reality? Would it be lonely?
No, it would just, you know, I used to feel like that when I was a kid, but it never felt like alone. It just felt like it was just my way of viewing reality. You know, I was just different.
And is that boring if no one else views it the same way? Is that somehow like lackluster? Does it have no meaning?
Mm, no, like growing up, I've learned how to use it, you know, um, without having anybody else validate it or anything like that. I just knew, like, okay, this is different. You know, let me just use it. Just let me just be different. It's okay. Um, you know, I used to consult people, you know, things like I knew things that they didn't know. And I used to question myself, like, it's your problem. How do I know the answers to it? You know, like it's not my problem. But a lot of things that made sense to me. And then I used to just think, like, oh, I think they just don't see what I see. You know, how can you miss that? That was just right in front of you. And I didn't have any need to say those things out loud. It was just like things that I would be using without having the need to say out loud.
So you don't have the need.
No, not
Like
really.
you don't need validation.
No, it's just good to have like a tribe, you know. There's no need for validation for me, like any validation that would spice this reality up. No, it's just like I just know. Like I said, I enjoy the unknown, right? So the unknown is always here. So it's nothing boring about this reality. Um, but just to have like other people that also tapped into the same frequencies, it's just fun, you know. It's like if you were like on your own on this whole planet and you find this little radio station and then you can speak through it, and then the ones that hear it are the ones that, you know, are on the same planet, basically. Like you're not alone, somebody else can hear you, you know. So that's just the fun part of it. But yeah.
I agree. I agree. And that's a great analogy, you know, beautiful analogy of that radio station. You know, someone else can hear, someone else is here,
Hmm.
you know. So we hear you. We hear you, Nabiha. I just want to let you know we hear you. Yes.
Yeah, we're not alone, you know? Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Jerome. Thank you for
Thank
hearing,
you.
and thank you for tuning your channels too. So, oh,
Always.
so free travels to you. I don't know who is trying. Yeah. Another time, Manetta. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name. You see, again, I'm doubting myself. Even the names, I always doubt myself. But yeah. But nice talking to you, Jerome.
Always. Always. We'll stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Much love. Yeah, I'm holding the phone, so this is Louisa Way. I love Louisa Way. All right. Much love.